Members, peace. It's Piscean Mind coming at you. In this video today, I think I just pretty much want to talk about staying on guard with people. You know what I'm saying? And just arming yourself when you coming in contact with people that's coming with a negative vibe to them, and they're coming at you. I'll give you an example. I was in the store one day. I was in a hair store. And, you know, for those who've seen previous videos, you know, I used to have locks or whatever. So I was speaking with a sister that currently has locks. And, so, you know, we were talking about my hair or whatever. And, you know, just, I was explaining the process that I went through, you know, in order to make the transformation from locks to, you know what I'm saying, just rocking my natural hair or whatever. And as I was telling her, you know, like me and one of my boys was saying, it's a thing when someone is giving you constructive criticism. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you got to be able to decipher when someone is being constructive and when someone's just hating, or when someone is just being flat out negative. You understand what I'm saying? But people are trying to come off as if they're trying to give you some constructive criticism when really they just trying to project their own opinions about something, and also they also dealing with their own personal feelings or their own negative vibe about the situation. You know what I'm saying? And she was just talking, and she was saying, you could have. For one thing, I had my hair up in a ponytail. Anybody with curly hair know our hair shrinks. You know what I'm saying? It coils up. So, you know, I had it in like a little puff ponytail. And she was just saying something to the effect of, you know, had you not did such and such, you would have had a lot more, you know, your hair wouldn't have been so damaged, or you would have had a lot less, you would have had a lot more hair. And I was just listening, and I was like, she don't even know how much hair I got for her to make that kind of statement. You know what I'm saying? And in situations like that, now you do have to check yourself to make sure, like, it's not your own ego bouncing off in the situation. Like, you know what I'm saying? You have to make sure. I mean, you just always have to check yourself to draw the line between your own ego and somebody else's. You know what I'm saying? So even though I recognize to a certain extent that, hey, you know, maybe there's a possibility that I could have been feeling some kind of ways. Maybe I could have been feeling funny about her saying something, because I know that when you're talking about curly hair, you might not necessarily see someone's true length unless they're wearing their hair a certain way. So maybe I might have felt a certain way about her saying it and knowing that she didn't see my true length. However, at the same time, she was coming with the energy that was, she was projecting. You know what I'm saying? And in her saying that, because she also made the comment, one thing you got to do too is when people are talking to you, you got to listen to everything they say. Because they'll say one thing that speaks for their whole perspective on the whole shit of what they're dealing with. You understand what I'm saying? This is the key phrase that she said. She was like, oh yeah, I had thought about taking mine out one time, but then, you know, I just kind of decided against it. Bing! That was all I needed to hear. So from that statement, I was able to gather that really what was being said, really what was perpetuating her or influencing her to say what she was saying about my hair was the fact that she had thought about doing it herself, and for some reason probably got nervous or got scared to make that transformation, because it is a big leap. You know what I'm saying? That's a major decision for someone to make. You understand what I'm saying? But just in that, I could hear her projecting her own feelings of, man, you know, I could hear her, you know, probably, I could hear her tussling with herself and tussling with her own fear of not being able to make such a transformation like that in her life. You understand what I'm saying? And, you know, when you come into situations like that, you have to understand you can't take that type of shit personal. You know what I mean? You can't take a statement like that and start internalizing it like it's something wrong, like it's something up with you. You got to realize that whoever's making that statement, they dealing with something themselves, and that is what has propelled them to say to say that. You understand what I'm saying? Give you another incident. That same day that I dealt with that, and this is how life works too. Sometimes life has a way of reinforcing certain lessons. You know what I'm saying? You'll go through something, then you go talk to one of your homeboys or your homegirls, and they going, you know what I'm saying, in a situation that they're going through, exemplifies the same type of principles or the same type of lessons that you just had to deal with. So that same day, I was talking to one of my comrades, and he was telling me how, again, someone was giving some constructive criticism about some video clips that we had put together. And you know, just pretty much the female was just pretty much just, I guess, giving her opinions of, you know, how she think the video could have been different or whatever like that. And, you know, my buddy, he was getting, you know, he wasn't feeling it. He was getting kind of, you know, he wasn't feeling it and taking it personal. And I was like, you know what? A lot of what she is saying is probably coming from the fact of seeing what you're doing and her not having taken the steps to get to that point herself. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to always remember that when people are talking to you, sometimes people are talking from their own insecurities, they're talking from their own inhibitions, and they're talking from their own fears. But when they're talking to you, they're going to project this onto you to make it seem as if you're the one with the issues, or you're the one that needs some type of adjusting, or you're the one that has a problem within the context of what we're talking about, or you're the one that needs to do better, or you should have or could have, you know what I'm saying, what have you, within the context of whatever it is you're talking about. So at all times, you know what I'm saying, you have to be on guard with people. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got to be on guard with people. And when you're talking to them, because a lot of times people are coming at you out of their own self-inadequacies. You know what I'm saying? And I think that lesson can be applied across the board in so many ways. You know what I'm saying? And that goes back to what I was saying to one of my homeboys today. I said, you know, we have to deal with things from the level of thought, from the plane of thought. In other words, it's very easy to deal with things from a mundane level, or just purely from the physical level, because that's what we can see, hear, taste, and touch. Okay? However, you have to deal with things from that level that you can't see, hear, taste, and touch. That level of the plane of thought. You know what I'm saying? The plane of thought, which you can call it any number of things, the astral plane, the etheric plane. I mean, you know, maybe those things could be used interchangeably, you know, to one's liking. But what I'm saying is, we have to really remember and recognize how much our thoughts play into creating our realities. You understand what I'm saying? How much the thoughts really create our realities. And one thing I was telling my friend was I was encountering some opposition. And I'll be honest with you, it pissed me off. And it threw me off for a couple of days. You know what I'm saying? I was at work thinking about it, came home thinking about it, and then I'm like, you know what? Hold on. I'm approaching this situation all wrong. You know what I'm saying? I said, you know what? I got to get my thoughts in order about the situation, because if I continue to think about this situation in a disgruntled manner and with an attitude, it's going to yield unwanted results. You see what I'm saying? The moment you put your thoughts in the place that it needs to be, then that is the moment that you are then able to be in a position to summon the desired results that you want from that situation.